There are two types of people in this world, one who speaks first and thinks later. Others are those who speak after thinking a lot. The nature of the first person is considered to be very friendly, and they quickly make friends anywhere. It is easy for them to adjust with people. They adapt themselves to every situation and never let anything wrong happen to them, whereas a person with second nature always has a fear in his mind that, what will people think about us? And this fear makes them of hesitant nature. Such people often fail to speak at the place where it was most necessary for them to speak. People easily take advantage of someone with a different nature. There is a need to eliminate the fear and shyness within oneself so that one can easily adjust in this world and society. Through this story, let us know how, with the help of Gautam Buddha, a person who had a lot of fear and hesitation in his mind, changed his nature and made himself courageous. Friends, the teachings of Gautam Buddha can give a new direction to everyone's life. If you also believe this, then do not forget to write Namo Buddhaya in the comments. Once upon a time, there lived a businessman in the city. He traded salt to support himself and his family. In his family, he lived wife and 2 sons. The nature of the businessman's 2 sons was completely different. On the one hand, the elder son was of a very hesitant and shy nature. He was shy even to talk to anyone. On the other hand, his younger son had an extroverted nature. He was a kind person and never hesitated in expressing his views to anyone. People often considered the elder son to be innocent and stupid. Many times people would take advantage of his innocence and he would never say anything to anyone. The businessman used to be very angry due to this nature of his son. Due to his inability to talk and shy nature, the businessman even beat his son many times. However, due to this, instead of improving, his son's nature got worse. Since childhood, the elder son was very troubled. He lacked self-confidence. He could not even write answers to the questions in the examination due to his fear, due to which his education could not be done properly. When the elder son attained adulthood, the businessman asked him to help him in business. Due to fear from his father, he agreed to do business, but he often made such mistakes, due to which the businessman became very angry. One day the businessman had gone to the city for some other work. At that time his elder son was sitting in his shop. Then some people came and said to the elder son, "Your father has sent us. His message is that give us all the sacks of salt currently kept in the shop. He has ordered all the sacks of salt to the city." Just as the merchant's son was mustering the courage to ask them a question, the 2 men entered the shop, put all the sacks of salt that were kept in the shop into the cart, and drove away. The merchant's son tried to stop them, but due to hesitation and shyness, he could not say anything to them. He thought in his mind that if I stop them from taking the salt, Father will be angry at me. After some time, when the businessman returned from the city, seeing an empty shop, he asked his son, "Where have the bags of salt gone? Why is this shop so empty?" Then the elder son said in a low voice that some people had come to the shop and told me that you had ordered sacks of salt from the city, and they took out all the sacks from the shop and went away with them. The businessman beat his head, pushed his son out of the shop and said, "You will remain a fool of fools. They fooled you and took away all the goods. You have caused me great harm. Run away from here and don't come back home. If you come back, I will beat you up and straighten you out." The merchant's elder son was extremely saddened by this. Once again, due to his shy nature, his father became more angry with him, and the business also suffered huge losses. At that time, all the people of the city were laughing and making fun of the businessman's son. He was feeling very embarrassed. This was the time when he thought that now nothing could go right in his life. He would always remain a fool and will never be able to keep pace with the people living in this society. The merchant's son came out of the city and sat on the bank of a river and cried a lot. Seeing the deep water, he thought that there was no point in his living now. He thought that today he will kill himself by drowning in this river. It is better to kill himself than living an unsuccessful life. As soon as he jumped into the river, a Buddhist monk saved him and brought him out of the river. The merchant's son started getting angry at the Buddhist monk and started saying, "Why did you save me? I don't want to live this unsuccessful life." The Buddhist monk explained to him that life is given only once, and if you do not survive, then how will you overcome failure and become successful? Then the businessman's son said, "I have a lot of problems in my life. All these problems have happened because of my hesitant and shy nature. I have caused harm to my father. I am not a good son. Due to my nature, I could not even get education. This whole world considers me a fool. Does a fool have the right to live in this world?" Then the Buddhist monk said, "Only my guru will answer your question. Let me introduce you to my guru." The businessman's son said that he does not want to talk to anyone. Today, he will end his life. But after repeated persuasion by the Buddhist monk, he agreed to go with him and meet his guru. The Buddhist monk took the businessman's son towards the ashram. There, the merchant's son saw a man sitting in meditation under a tree. Then the Buddhist monk said, "This is our guru Gautam Buddha." Both of them bowed to Gautam Buddha. That young man sat there and started crying after seeing Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha asked him the reason for his crying. Then he said, "Now you are my last hope. If you don't solve my problem, then this life of mine will end." When Gautam Buddha asked the merchant's son about his problem, he told how he has been shy and introverted since childhood, due to which people consider him a fool, and his father also does not love him. Then Gautam Buddha calmed the young man and said that I have a solution to your problem. Your life can become very easy. Then the young man asked, "Can this really happen? You seem to be a very great personality. You have many disciples. Hey Gurudev, I also want to become your disciple. Will you accept me as your disciple?" Gautam Buddha said yes. Of course, the young man said, "Okay, Gurudev. Now tell me the solution that will change my life." Gautam Buddha said, "But before that you will have to do some important work of mine. If you do this work of mine, then I will tell you some solutions, due to which everything will be fine in your life, and your father will also be happy with you." Gautam Buddha told that young man that after 3 days from today, I will tell you such solutions which will change your life. But for 3 days, you will have to do all my tasks. Whatever I say, if you are successful in doing that work, then after the 3rd day, your life will change. Your first day starts tomorrow. Go now and rest in the ashram itself. The next day, the merchant's son approached Gautam Buddha and said, "O Gurudev, tell me the work of the first day." Then Gautam Buddha said that today you have to talk to 10 strangers and know their condition. Bring the report by evening. The merchant's son felt very hesitant, but he said yes to Gautam Buddha. He set out to talk to 10 strangers. Initially, he felt very hesitant. Many people used to scold him and send him away. This was the only solution for him to change his life. Ultimately, with his efforts, he obtained the names of 10 strangers and their business accounts. When he reached Gautam Buddha in the evening, he happily told Gautam Buddha that he had completed today's work properly, and some people had even become his friends. Next day again the young man reached Gautam Buddha. Then Gautam Buddha said, "Today's task is that you address the 10 disciples living in the ashram and teach them about the use of water." The merchant's son was stunned after hearing the words of Gautam Buddha. He said, "What kind of work are you making me do? I have not been able to complete my education properly. I will not be able to do this work." Then Gautam Buddha said that, "Okay, then I will not even tell you the solution." The merchant's son prayed and said, "You know that my education is incomplete. Then how can I teach children?" Gautam Buddha smilingly said, "Only I know here that your education is incomplete. Those children don't know. You use water every day in your life. You have to go and tell all these things to those children." Ultimately, the merchant's son was left with no option. Gathering courage, he reached those children. Initially, his hands and legs were trembling, but eventually he started telling about the characteristics of water. He told the children the 5 characteristics of water and quickly ran away from there. Coming to Gautam Buddha, he said, "He was feeling very scared, but I have told the children the 5 characteristics of water." Gautam Buddha said, "Please try once again." The merchant's son once again gathered courage and started teaching the children about water. This time the businessman's son was not afraid at all and taught the children with full confidence. Then Gautam Buddha praised the young man and said, "You are definitely courageous." The young man was very happy to hear praise from Gautam Buddha. When the young man came to Gautam Buddha on the 3rd day, Gautam Buddha told him that today's work may seem a little strange to you, but today you have to go to meet your father. Hearing these words of Gautam Buddha, the young man became very scared. He said, "No, I will not go in front of my father." Gautam Buddha said that it is okay, then I will not even tell you the solution. Ultimately, that young man had to accept the words of Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha explained to him that, "Go to your father and ask for his forgiveness, and ask him to give you another chance so that you can prove yourself wise." The young man courageously confronted his father and asked for his forgiveness. Ultimately, the businessman forgave his son and agreed to give him a second chance. The merchant's son came to Gautam Buddha, and when he wanted to know about the solution, Gautam Buddha said, "You have found your own solution. You couldn't talk to anyone, you were shy. Everything was fear sitting in your mind. Only we know how confident we are, how shy and how much fear we have inside us. No one knows in the outside world. The way we show ourselves in the outside world is how people perceive us. Even if you are not confident, if you pretend to be confident in front of strangers, no one will know who you are." That young man had understood what Gautam Buddha was trying to tell him, thanked Gautam Buddha, and promised him that he would prove successful in life. Friends, if you like this video, then please like it, and do not forget to subscribe the channel. If there is any such shy and hesitant person around you, then definitely share this video with him so that he can get help.